Earl Children's Real Estate Investments will teach you how to build wealth through real estate. Learn step by step how to become a real estate investment empire through wholesaling and flipping residential and commercial properties. Be a boss, take over the block by becoming a real estate investor. Learn more at www.earlchildrens.com.
Hey, Ray, hand me that AR.
We're now listening to Off the Rip.
Off the Rip, hardest podcast out right now. It's your boy Earl The Artist.
Yo, you got staff here, man.
Man, we got a legend in the making for real, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself for the folks who don't know, who should know.
What's up, man? My name NOBE. It's me. We here. Glad to be here with the young legends they self for sure.
Appreciate that, man. So for the folks who don't know, who is NOBE?
Who am I? Man, I'm a guy, bro. From the crib, both sides, St. Louis, East St. An artist, a son, a brother, a friend. You know, somebody that I've been doing me since I've been here. Born in 95, I've just been moving around since then, bro. That's it, and that's all.
For sure, man. So you said you're an artist, man. So how did you get into music, man? Let's start from the very beginning.
So from the beginning, my first introduction to music was as a kid, just moving around in the scene. Not like I wasn't involved in nothing in the music industry or nothing. I ain't got no family in the biz, but just kind of being able to move around the scene, like seeing Nelly and them moving around back in the day when I was a kid. Coming like not, Huey and Chingy and all of them, being around for that movement and all that time for the crib was magical. And then I played ball, so that was mainly my full hustle growing up for most of my life. But then after I ain't make it, I jumped full-fledged into it. I dove in and shit, I ain't stopped since.
And before we go all the way to the music tip, man, like, for the folks who don't know, bro, tell them how skilled you was at ball. Like, we was talking off camera a little bit. You was saying you was cold on the baseball field, the court. Like, what all sports did you play, man?
Shit, I played baseball, basketball, football, soccer. My boss had me active. I played soccer about 6 years. He
made sure you was outside.
Facts, he had me real active with it. So I started with that. Basketball was my favorite sport to begin with, but it was something about baseball that was just real, like...
You was real gifted at?
Yeah. I was just naturally, like, I had it, you know what I mean? I was pitching, utility. I played everywhere for real, except for catcher. That's what got me to college. And then, shit, I just kind of... I had my pro workouts. I ain't make it, but I knew I could take it far, you know what I mean? And it kept me out of a lot of trouble, so I appreciated my pops for that, like, showing me my drive and my hustle in that aspect of life. I kind of was able to apply it to other aspects of my life and, make some of myself. Not just getting caught up in, the other bullshit that we can't get caught up in.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Shout out Pops for sure. Because father figures are really important, just making sure you on the right path and, help them best way they can. Yeah. Sometimes you're going to fall off track and rolls, but, they always there, to pick you up when they can. So that's major.
Yeah, and it was cool that you was able to realize, like, I was telling Staff about this when he was trying to make his transition from like basketball to doing podcasts, things of that nature. I was telling him, like, it's certain skills you develop unconsciously. Like, you may be a hard worker on the court, you dedicated, you persistent, you showing up on time, you leading the guys on the court, you vocal on the court. But like when it's time to translate to business, all that stuff gonna easily trans over like easily. You're gonna be a leader in the office, you're gonna be more vocal in the office and things of that nature. So what kind of skills did you develop from the sports that translated easily over to music?
Exactly what you were just talking about. Communication was key. In sports, y'all know that's
major,
like, super major. If you ain't communicating, you not playing. I don't care what sport it is.
Yeah.
Leadership skills, stuff like that. Building that brotherhood, that bond with your teammates is vital.
Camaraderie is different.
You know what I mean? And it's a reason why I feel like in the workforce or wherever you're doing, especially in this country, like they pay attention to that. They want to know if you play sports. They want to know if you was a captain or if you did this or did that, because them skills, they do translate, like you're saying. And man, they vital, bro, to a person's success, I feel like. And then it's crazy because since I haven't been playing ball no more, like I've been realizing that not everybody played ball growing up. You know what I mean? And like not everybody was able to develop those skills at an early age. And it kind of you start kind of seeing it. You start kind of showing not everybody know how to communicate well or take criticism well.
Hey, you speaking facts. Keep going.
Bro, like for real, like, cause I feel like that should be. Sometimes I don't know, man. It be like me being younger. I come across some grown folk that I'm like, man, it don't seem like you all the way there, like emotionally or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Not even talking down on nobody. Just it was just certain stuff I peeped. Not everybody got a chance to really pick up on, and I started seeing like how certain people separate themselves from other people. You know what I mean? And that shit, like, it taught me a lot. I say that sports taught me a hell of a lot about life and just people in general. Yeah.
So could you mind reiterating a little bit? So from that transition from sports to music, like how did you know, like, you know what, out of all things in this world, music is probably like my second or my next best passion I want to pursue?
Bruh, so good question. Actually, a lot of people who know me don't even know this about me, but music was like my first love. Before I ever picked up a ball, I picked up a ball early, about 4. But before then, you know what I mean, you come out the womb already like picking up on vibrations and stuff. So I told my mom, quick story, like my first memory of life ever in life was with her. We was at an LL Cool J concert. My mom was big LL, like big. So
you was at the concert too?
Bro,
How old was you at LL Cool J concert, man?
Look, so I told her this story. She like, you do not remember that. I'm like, I definitely remember that. She like, you weren't even a year old yet. I'm like, damn, for real? We was outside. He was performing on this big ass Coca-Cola tour bus. It was like wintertime. I'm like, this shit lit. And I never forgot that. I just remember visually seeing it. I couldn't even, really make much out. I was an infant, but like just from then on, it was just something about music. You know what I mean? Like my folks was big on. They had me kind of young, about 23. So like, they were still active in they youthful age, still moving around. My pops put me up on all hip hop. My mom's put me up on all R&B. But then like older generations too, Patti LaBelle and Aretha and all of them. So Luther, all of that. New Edition, all of that. I was getting a mix of it. Then I come from a big family, so when I be with my great aunts, great uncles, my big cousins, now I'm picking up on other stuff. You know what I mean? I'm doing my big cousins, they listening to Wayne heavy. Gucci, Jeezy. Like I'm getting just a whole melting pot of stuff, you know what I mean? Especially coming from the Midwest, I know how that be. Like we a melting pot in itself already, just naturally. So then just kind of soaking all that in, I felt like, to me, it made me be able to tap into different bags. Like I feel like that's why my art is so versatile, because I done pulled from so many different sounds and aesthetics that it kind of just, it came in my own way. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be one specific thing. I don't like really just boxing myself in and then I want to be able to move around with it.
I definitely feel on that.
Yeah, I can see it comes natural, because before we get into it, like, me and Stav was just riding around and listening to your music earlier, and Stav was like, man, like, don't nothing sound the same. I was like, yeah, so I'm starting to see why all those influences played a part. So when was like that first moment you actually sat down and put that pen in the paper and wrote a song? You know what I'm saying? Like, when was that first moment? How did that feel?
The first thing I ever wrote that I remember writing was in like 7th grade. I feel like it was a hook. It wasn't even a rap hook. It was like a little R&B joint. Just growing up, Ursha was my idol. I was in the mirror, like doing all the moves. I'm watching his tours. like his stage performance, all that nigga he was that one to me for real when I was a little kid. And then Chris Brown came, you know what
I was about to ask you who better, Usher or Chris Brown?
Bruh,
Man.
you know what I mean? I feel like Usher, he the OG, he played away. You know what I mean? And
They debating that right now,
yeah,
man.
You know what I'm saying? Them both my guys, man. I'm rooting for both of them. You know what I'm saying? Chris, he like a 2.0. You know what I mean? He rapping, he doing all other kind of shit too. You know what I mean? But to answer the question, like it started with that. I wrote a hook and then I never really stopped writing after that. But it was like I wasn't really talking about it or telling nobody about it. You know what I mean? Like I just was kind of telling myself with it. I keep me a notebook, just jotting stuff down. You know what I'm saying? As the years went on, and I never stopped. And then 7th grade all the way up till I was about 22 when I wasn't playing ball no more. You know what I mean? It just kind of evolved, kind of grew naturally. And then after I didn't make it in ball, I had the decision to make, you know what I'm saying, like where I want to take this. And I knew I wasn't finna give up on my dreams, you know what I mean? So I'm like, shit, if I'm gonna do it, I need to do it now. You know what I mean? I ain't 16 or, you know what I mean, a super young nigga no more. Like, so if I'm gonna go with it, I gotta go now. So I kind of delved into it then. And like I said, I ain't stopped since.
No, I definitely feel you on that. So let's talk about like your high school and college journey. How was that for you? Who was NOBE back then?
Similar to who I am now, like really me, I feel like a more evolved person on myself. But high school was lit. High school was lit. You know what I'm saying? We was talking off camera about Central, man. Central that was the stomping ground for me. Like, there was a lot of activity going through there. Women, sports, you know what I'm saying?
You only know if you went there, man.
Facts. So, shit, that was, to me, like, I look back on it now and I wish I would have been even more a lot then, but I worked hard. You know what I mean? Like, right after school, right after class, I'm right to practice. You know what I mean? Playing with my big brothers, and I'm on that field. We moving around. I'm training. This is what I did every day. You know what I'm saying? Summertime, I'm out of town traveling with ball. Y'all know that grind. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, you like showcase circuit and stuff like that. So that was really what, like I said, kept me out of trouble. Like me being able to move around with ball. And then on the other end of that, I feel like a lot of people really remember me from ball. And then, you know what I mean, being a good student. I was only a good student for real because one, my folks weren't playing it. But then two, like, my pops always told me coming up, you ain't got your grades, you ain't playing ball. I mean, you ain't going out of town on this and doing none of that stuff you want to do. So I made sure I had that right. Once I got that right, then it was all right, you know what I mean? My social life was always there. Like, I come from a big family, like I said, so it ain't really too many places I go that somebody don't know somebody of mine, or, you know what I mean? I can find my way in any type of network, I feel like. So my social life was, you know, pretty good. I felt like damn near it was too good. That's why I ain't making it ball. You know what I'm saying? Because it was certain things that, like, I thought I was working as hard as I could have been working, but looking back on it, I could have been going even harder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I really feel like that would have paid off for me. But it did pay off for me in its own way, and everything happened for a reason. So I'm glad to be doing what I'm doing now, for real.
For sure. So you got a strong, what'd you say, core group?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you dropped your first song ever, before like you just released it out into the public, like what was the feedback on it? Was your guys on your butt like, nah, that ain't it? Or they was like, yeah, that's it, you gotta keep dropping. Like what was that reaction?
So actually, when I first started recording music, I was up in Chicago, and I was working with this guy named Q. Q, what up, man? This was out like in the outskirts of Chicago. Actually, from the same hometown. He was from the same hometown as Juice WRLD. And so a younger dude, me and him worked, like, we was working a retail job together. But he had a setup in his folks' crib. He let me come through. He wouldn't charge me nothing but like $20 a session. We were just getting it in like 3-4 times a week.
How long was the sessions?
About 2 hours.
Oh, so he was getting a good deal.
That's a
right
good
there.
deal
He
for
was,
sure.
Yeah, he was basically just charging me $20 a song. I come through, he'd do like 1 or 2 a session, and I was just, you know, building it up right, because I knew, like, to your point, I ain't really want nobody to hear my stuff until I felt like
You was confident in it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I feel like ain't nobody gonna know me better than me. So I was like finding my sound with that. But the first person who I actually let hear my stuff was my auntie, my mom's youngest sister. I did that, bro. She was 2 amp. 2 amp. She
Auntie
like,
said we finna make you global.
We finna get out the hood with
she
this
went
one
right
now.
away. You know what I'm saying? Anybody know my folks? She full-fledged with it. So I ain't even tell my folks yet. She was the only person I let hear it. I'm still working on music. I'm up there in school, in grad school, doing my thing. And then she called me one day like, I let your mom and dad hear your song. Like, she like, they fucking with it. They like it. It's hard. I'm like, all right, say less. And that just gave me all the confidence I needed. Once my folks rocked with it, because like I said, like that's who really, you know what I mean, ingratiated me into music to begin with anyway. So once I seen my pops and my moms and my siblings was fucking with it, I was like, all right, I'm full-fledged. After that,
do
you know
something
what I mean?
with it.
Yeah, like it was like, can't nobody tell me shit for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're the only ones that really matter at the end of the day. So that's how we rocking.
I feel that. So what I'm finna say, touch on college. Let the people know, bragging your degree. So you got 2 of them suckers, right?
Far from a dummy, man.
Yeah, far from a dummy. Exactly. You know, so shit. Like I said, if it wasn't for ball, I don't know if I would have been as locked in on my grades and shit how I needed to be. But once I got that down, I just started figuring out how to do school. That's how I said. Like I figured out how to do school, and by the time I got to college, it was just really like, you know, and I mean, shit, coming up during my time, I felt like I ain't never envisioned me going to grad school or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It was just more so like, shit, I'm trying to get to the league. All right, I got my offer to go to school. Bet this where I'm going. And then shit, it just kind of started evolving from there. And college life is college life. You know what I mean? It ain't for everybody. Yeah, for sure. Like that was around the shit. We young, 17. I'm starting to notice all of my homies ain't going to college. You know what I mean? And I ain't judging them for it. Like that just naturally ain't them. But for me, it was a network for me. It was a place where I could go to.
Man, me
you already know
on that all the time. That's why somebody else said it. A network, like
Bruh,
a whole
Better go to college with
T.
a plan, boy.
to the T.
bro.
So that's what I really feel like is one of the better things about school. Cause, you know, me being in school for as long as I did, you know, you get turned out to certain shit and then you start seeing the ins and outs of school, like especially in this country, how they got this shit set up. It ain't really set up for us to win. So me being there really taught me a lot as well, as far as like business, people, communicating, networking, marketing, all that, man. You know, it was major for me. It grew me up as a man. I was living on my own, me and a teammate or a roommate. You know what I mean? We hundreds of miles away from the crib, cooking for myself, learning about this, learning about that, paying rent. You know what I mean? Like small stuff like that. It taught me a lot. And then being in the middle of nowhere, from my JUCO is right outside of Peoria, Illinois, so it wasn't really much out there. You know what I mean? I started learning about other cities. I had traveled. I was blessed enough to have traveled a little bit, like through ball and just my family when I was younger, but now I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so to speak, like smaller towns, you know what I mean, older towns. So I'm learning more about different commerce markets in the country and shit like that. All that shit was just teaching me a whole lot about everything. I felt like everything I needed to know, you know what I mean. Granted, it's a whole bunch I don't know, but it really it grew me up in a lot of ways, man. College is, if you gonna do it, I feel like do it to the fullest, you know what I mean, and fully embrace that shit and get everything you gonna get up out of it, because you don't want to be coming out of it with debt and you ain't learned shit, man. You know what I mean, and you done just kind of wasted your time and set yourself,
let them
man.
know, give them that game, man. They need to know.
That's the truth, bro, because especially nowadays, shit, you got billionaires teaching that. The school and just ain't even, they ain't really teaching. Man, I did all that damn school and I can't remember 5% of that shit, you know what I mean. But my grades was good because I knew how to
Work the system.
How to work the system, basically. You know what I mean? I knew pay attention in class, take your notes, listen to what people saying, be able to relay that and communicate that when it's time to do presentations or write a paper or anything like that. Learn how to do research on stuff.
Yeah.
Learn how to teach yourself and keep helping yourself learn. That's what I really feel like it's about. You know what I mean? For the youth, learning how to learn. Learning how to learn, because I feel like no matter how old you get, you gotta be still learning. You can never get stagnant. Let your brain get stagnant. So being passionate about something and then finding that and then going towards that, I feel like it's key.
Man, cause that passion, boy, it's gonna get you out them times where you feel you think you ain't got nothing going for yourself. So how did you use college to like leverage your music? Like how was you getting your music around school or on college?
So it was like I wasn't really moving my music yet. So, cause I ain't really started working on my music till I was in grad school. So by then, a lot of my teammates had left. I was still there with a couple of my younger teammates, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I was just out there moving dolo. And so like how I really networked it was just talking to people in my class. I came up on certain studios like that, certain musicians, other artists that way. And you know what I mean? Just talking to people. Like, for example, I'm in class one day. This dude walked in. He looked like one of my teammates from my JUCO. It's not him though. And never seen dude from a can of paint. I don't know him from a can of paint. He sit right next to me. Like the next week, I'm chopping it up with him. He telling me him and his partners working on a full-fledged studio on the north side of Chicago, like brand new. He's showing me pictures. I'm like, bro, this is lit. Like, and I told y'all up until that point, I had only been recording in my partner crib, $20 session. So I seen that. I'm like, shit, I gotta tap in. I talked about, bro, I'm making music. He played the saxophone. Shout out DG. And this was like my first time actually going into like a for real, like legit full-fledged studio, just focused on me. I had been in studios before, but this was like I'm working my music now. You know what I mean? So learning how to tap myself into markets, because usually naturally I don't really be. When I was younger, I wasn't really pressed to do shit like that. You know what I mean? Like I was just more so focused on me doing like what I had going. And like I said, I was so hell bent on ball. I mean, if it wasn't really that or something pertaining to something else that I wanted, like I wasn't really, thirsty for, to learn everything else about other shit. You know what I mean? But college definitely brought that up out of me and made sure that I was able to be well-rounded and communicate with people.
I definitely feel you on that. Cause I feel like me and Earl talk about that a lot. Just how like college affected our lives and like how it was a necessity. I feel like especially off the rip. I feel like shout out all the people that really rock with us and helped us. Like so many people from our professors to our classmates. Like even little errors we got. Like I'm a communications major. Something might go wrong. Yeah. I send it over to my teacher. My teacher be helping us with some of this stuff. Yeah. So what I mean, it be little stuff, just networking and building them connections. And nobody owe you nothing. So it mean a lot when somebody go out their way to help you. Like you feel me? Like it mean the world.
And for real, it was a lot of teachers that I came across. Shit, in all ages of school, but definitely in college where. Damn, folks, they care. You know what I mean? You come across people that you can tell don't give a fuck, or maybe they just got too much other shit going on, so they ain't really like tapped into what they supposed to be tapped into at the time. But then it's like on the flip side of that, I done came across some teachers that was really like, nah, you know what you talking about, you know what you doing, and they made sure that anything I needed, they was right there for me if I needed it. You know what I'm saying? All I had to do was ask. Yeah. So that really like. It helped me go a long way in college. It helped me maneuver college a lot easier, I feel like.
Yeah. So let's fast forward. 2016, I believe what's your first project, The Green Room, dropped. It wasn't 2016?
Oh, no, that ain't.
That's not a project?
That ain't me. My first project was Super Pack.
Super Pack, okay. So tell us how Super Pack came about.
Super Pack came about, I was down in Memphis. Living with my folks, and like my OG had told me to come down there, work on my music. They had heard the shit that I had sent them earlier that I had sent to my auntie. She had played it for them. It was fucking with what I was doing. They told me to come down. I came down, and he put me right in the studio. You know what I mean? He did that. Paid for my first few days, and then right when I got in the studio, probably like 2-3 days, COVID kicked off. And so it was a lot going on. Like the engineers I was working with, he had family. He couldn't, you know what I'm saying? He had to pull out. I had to start working with other engineers and stuff like that. But this was a big ass compound down there that I was working out of. And it was like, I was really honing my sound or discovering my sound, I feel like, really. You know what I mean? At that point, I had been working on music maybe 2019, so probably about a year and a half, 2 years maybe. Probably a year and a half. And I was just really like, they was pressing me on finding something that would be able to be marketable and move around in different markets, you know what I mean? Club scene and this scene and that scene, the street scene, all that type shit. So it was uncomfortable for me really, because I like to move on my own time and my own pace. Yeah. But it was like, I needed that. I knew I needed that. The athlete in me came out there, and it was like, man, I knew I need to be in uncomfortable environments and situations to where if I can create in this, I know I can create in anything. You know what I mean? And that's really where Super Pack came from. It was just more so like a combination of me, like first song on there, two-tone, then Skywalker, then two-tone step. Them first 3 songs I recorded in order, and like up until that point I was struggling. I'm sitting down there, I'm writing, I'm rapping on my shit. I ain't even really feeling my shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm working myself through it. And I walked in the studio one day, and my boy DP, he was just so happened to be working on the beat. I was fucking with it. I said, bro, pull that up. He pulled it up, went on that. That shit, it was just naturally. Yeah. You know what I mean? Next day I came in, or by the time I came in again, I had the Skywalker beat. Told him to pull that up. We like that. Came in again, two-tone step right there. You know what I mean? And I just kind of just kept the flow going. And like I had a couple tracks that I had from up in Chicago, working up there, but nothing was out yet for real. Okay. And so like after I had those, I was confident, like, all right, I can throw something out. You know what I mean? I put my first song out, SoundCloud, YouTube, and then after the reception of that, I was like, all right.
So what was the timeline of that? Was it like 2 years before?
So like Chicago to Memphis?
Yeah.
So I graduated 2019. Okay. And then, so by the time I graduated, I had been up there working maybe like 5-6 months. So that was my work from up in Chicago. And then I ended up staying till about June. Through the end of June. I wrapped up in Chicago. I had maybe, I don't even know how many songs, but it wasn't over 100. You know what I'm saying? It was a small amount, but it was like I knew I had some shit within that amount. Went down, I came back home actually. I was in St. Louis for like the rest of that year. And then by the end of that year, I ended up going down to Memphis with my people. And shit, I was working down there for another probably 4-5 months before I put Super Pack out. Okay. So it was like, it was quick, but really all that timeline kind of a blur for real. You know what I mean? From college to when I started working on music to me being back home to Memphis, like it was kind of moving fast. Well, slow at the time, but now I'm looking back on it, that shit was moving real fast. And all in a matter of about a year and a half, bro. All that shit, like I had something out, and once I had something out, cause I knew I wasn't just gonna put shit out just to put it out. Like if I wasn't confident in it at the time, I wasn't gonna put it. I'm still like that, you know what I mean? So when it got to a point where I was like, all right, I'm confident enough to I can throw something out, I'm gonna do that. I did that. I got a good reception for it. This was 2020. Okay. And from that reception, man, I just kept pushing. I ain't stopped. Like I still been recording. My kinfolk hooked me in with my cameraman. Once I seen his work and came back home and worked with him, I was down in Memphis. I came back home, linked up with my cameraman, and then like seeing his work and seeing how me and him worked. The first shit we did, I don't really remember what. It was actually just a photo shoot. But once I seen those, I was like, all right, we got something. You know what I mean? I've been working with some of my other partners before then that do camera work, but they busy. You know what I mean? I wasn't finding what I needed yet. When I found him, it was like, all right, bet I know I got something. You know what I mean? So we just been working, man.
For sure. So you came up on our radar, bro. Cause I was on the gram, just like I don't know what I was doing on the gram. I think I was just scrolling. You probably came across my Explore page. And that's when we was seeing like the song we was talking about camera flash warning.
Yeah, flood warning.
Yeah, flood warning, my fault. No. Flood warning. And I was like, hold on, like that background look familiar.
Sure.
I'm like, he must be from St. Louis. And then like I played it back again. I'm like, oh, this dude can actually rap. I played it back again. I'm like, he don't sound like he's from St. Louis though. He must have just stopped by. And start rapping and stuff like that. And then I had sent it to staff. He talking about, oh no, he going crazy. So then, like from there on out, it's like the cameraman you was talking about. Like I just kept seeing your videos like coming up on his page, and I'm like, they looking like Shaq and Kobe, and I could tell like they building like some type of relationship. So like for like any upcoming artist, like how important is it to find like a good visual or a cameraman? Because right now it's like you can have a dope song, but the visuals like booty and nobody really trying to tap in with it. So how important is that for, as an upcoming artist, look for like a dope cameraman that's willing to like build that relationship with you and work with you?
Super important. It's fucking vital. If you don't got that shit, man, in your own way, everybody's setup I feel like gonna be different. But but Andrew, I knew like I had been already focused on finding like my aesthetic visually. And I knew like I wanted a cameraman that I could grow with, basically like build my vision with. Cause I know like visually, I don't want to just come like everybody else coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick and tired of seeing niggas standing in front of shit, toting shit, and just talking to the camera and jumping around. Like we done seen that shit so many times. So I already knew I wanted to come different on that end. And then coming up, like I was a big video kid. I'm a visual learner, just to start with. So already like I love Busta Rhymes videos, like Travis Scott videos I pay attention to. Like videos back in the day really spoke to me. And then I feel like at some point we kind of got away from that. Like I'm talking about mainstream wise. But now I feel like it kind of came back in to play where like with social media and the internet being as vital as it is, visuals is super key, super important.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think Cole Bennett brought the fun back to it a little bit. Yeah,
exactly. Motherfuckers like Cole Bennett and different videographers that really like tap in and make movies or short films, give you an experience. You know what I mean? And it really like it help your music too. You know what I mean? And then watching like on the other end, Wiz Khalifa with his day-to-day vlogs and seeing how he built his fan base solid to the point where he can do whatever the fuck he want now just because people done seen his growth. You know what I'm saying? Like outside of music videos, outside of interviews, like you seeing his tour life, you seeing his day-to-day life, that shit means something. You know what I mean? So that's really what I want to grow into visually, like shit like that, being able to give people experience on different ways, but just really also creatively too. I feel like there's so much you can do visually, you know what I mean, that a lot of people don't take advantage of. So I really want to tap into all of that, and Andrew is a key part of that for sure, and other cameramen for sure, because I definitely want to work with other cameramen and get they input and they eye on certain shit too. You know what I mean? No,
for sure. And he doing a good job at that, because like I said, I told y'all, Cam, like the visuals was like the first thing that caught my eye. And when I seen the visual and I actually heard you rap, I'm like, bro, yeah, he ready to go. He ready to go, man. So what is like some of like the ups and downs or like the obstacles you faced like on your road, I guess you said on your road to stardom?
Bro, so I feel like any artist deal with different forms of depression at certain times, lack of confidence, bro. It be certain times where like I was talking about earlier, I'm working on shit. I'm like, nigga, this is terrible. This suck. Like,
Ain't
for
no
real,
way.
you know what I'm saying? Ain't no way. Like, this really what I'm doing in my life. But then that same day, I might work on some shit, write some shit. It might just be a hook. It might be a half a verse. It might be a whole song. I'm like, nigga, ain't nobody fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's ups and downs with that shit on a day-to-day basis. Like, to the point where it be certain times you don't be feeling like doing shit, but you still gotta grind that out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then it be other times when you want to go do everything, but it seems like motherfuckers ain't fucking with you. Mm-hmm. You still gotta grind it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it be a lot of lonely moments. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I done wrote shit in podunk ass towns in the middle of, I don't know where the fuck I am, at a park at night. You know what I'm saying? That's been some of my best shit. Yeah. People, you know what I'm saying, fuck with, gravitate to the most. So it be a lot of the times like that where you just kind of you gotta push through that shit, grind through it, hustle through it, get yourself through it with your art or whatever you need to, with your motivation, and keep that shit pushing. And then on the also, like, the fuck was I finna say? Damn, I'm blanking out.
It's all good. I had a question for you anyway. Like, where did you write Nirvana? Did you say you be writing all in different locations?
Oh, Nirvana came about. I feel like I wrote that. So I was in my boy crib. Shout out MP. That's where I recorded it at. I don't even remember the first time I heard the beat, but he cooked the beat up. When I heard that beat, I'm like, nigga, this is one of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wrote that shit. I feel like it was a series of days. I wrote some of it there for sure. And then, like, at a park, I like to write at parks a lot, waterfronts, wherever it may be, like calm, peaceful environments type shit where I can kind of just zone out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was a mixture of that. But then when I went and laid the song, like right after I laid it, I knew I had it. You know what I'm saying? And I was going through a lot of shit at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of shit. So it was a lot of like other factors weighing in on me at the time. Like I shed a tear after I laid that shit, because I'm like, bro, this what the fuck I'm doing this shit for, type shit. Like it was therapeutic for me. I needed to make that song in a way. You know what I'm saying? And it helped me a lot making that song. It gave me a boost of confidence that I needed, for real. And then seeing people fuck with it the way they do, it was like, all right, I know I'm doing something right still.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That was one of the ones, man. That was a song we just blast on the way here. Yeah. For sure, boy.
That's fucking hard. So where you get your style from, though? Like, you think, I know you speaking earlier on, like, your mother and father. This is all the different types of music that you listen to growing up and through your life. But, like, because when he first sent it to me, I might be wrong. I was getting that like up north Detroit type of style. What type of style do you think you have?
Like, when I first got into music, I'm like, shit. I like Drake aspect. I like his blueprint. Like, I feel like, obviously, and we know this now, he made music that everybody can listen to. He got different pockets. But I don't want to be Drake. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound like Drake. It's other aspects of music that I feel like Drake don't touch that I know I can touch. And then coming up when Nelly was running it, seeing how his take on it on music is real unique. So I just felt like, shit, have a unique taste. And I always say, speaking on that, to touch on that real quick, like I feel like my pops taught me how to listen to music. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'd be in the car listening to Clue tapes and different shit like that, but he'd get a tape, throw it in, and we might listen to the first 30 seconds of every song first. You know what I mean? He kind of just skimmed through it. He's saying what he like, what he don't like. My mom showed me what music to listen to. So now I understand music for women, understand music for men. It's certain music that you want to dance to. It's certain music that you want to cry to, or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But like, I feel like I'm a melting pot of vibes and sounds. Like, I like what Kendrick do, like Baby King, but then also like DMX is super influential to me.
Earl don't know about that Baby King.
Stop playing. I'll put you on Baby King, man. Stop playing with me.
You know what I'm saying? Different vibes like that, but then it's like I like what Gunna do. Thug, Future, like, but then even more eclectic artists like shit, Maxwell, fucking Prince, D'Angelo. Like I want to start, you know what I mean, kind of going into that bag too. Like it's shit. When I first started working on music, I was working on shit that wasn't even just rap. It was like other sounds and shit that I'm like, I know I'm not just gonna rap. You know what I mean? But I'm not naturally a singer though. So I gotta find my pocket with that. You know what I mean? Find my pocket with my melodies and my harmonies. So I feel like I bring then I gotta say this, Beyonce. Since I was 8, I've been in love with that woman. So like,
oh man.
so I'd have been, but I'm actually a fan of her too though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I listen to her music. Like I listen to Solange, I listen to SZA, I listen to women artists that really like they push the boundary in their own right. And then I like finding my niche on any. So anything I'm listening to, I might be trying to figure out what I could do on the song. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm listening to some Beyonce, I'm like, shit, what would I have done on this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's how Wayne got to be Wayne, because he knew how to maneuver on anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I kind of want to be in that realm of it.
Dang, that's a dope perspective on how to listen to music. I'm gonna have to try that.
Sure.
And I ain't even trying to write music, but it's just like interest rate to listen to music. So how did Noble's demo come about?
Noble's demo was, so actually, I put that out this year, bro. I came up with the title Noble's demo before Super Pack. Like before I even put that out, I had Noble's demo. I'm like, damn, that'd be a hard ass introduction to myself. You know what I mean? Like, cause it'll really be my intro to the world. Like I feel like wherever I go in life, when people go back, Super Pack, came before, but like I said, Super Pack was more so like it was out of necessity. Like I feel like I needed to get something off. You know what I mean? And it did what I wanted it to do for me. It got people circulating the fact, all right, Noble making music. Like I said, most people knew me from Ball or whatever. Yeah. So that did that. Noble's demo was more so like this an intro to what I feel like I can become. You know what I'm saying? Like an intro to really like my full-fledged. It's a lot of different sounds on Super Pack, but Noble's demo is a more concentrated effort. I feel like it's really like, you know, I'm stamping on shit. I'm standing on shit that I know like I'm more confident in this sound. I done grew in this sound. You know what I'm saying? Like I still got room to grow, obviously, but I done made progress since Super Pack, and it's really like my full-fledged first effort into like, all right, I want y'all to have this. You know what I'm saying? Super Pack, like, all right, it's out. Noble's demo is more so like, this for y'all type shit. Like, I want y'all to have this. I want y'all to hear this and feel this and see how I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? Because I know people ain't coming like this.
No, they wouldn't. I was shocked. I ain't gonna lie. Like from the cover art to the sounds, like to the whole aesthetic. I'm like, bro, if I like was just like an outside looking in, I would have thought you were signed to a major label already. I ain't gonna cap. I'm not even gonna cap. Like looking at the work, I told Stat this like when I first seen, bro, like all the work you doing. I'm like, bro, I'm not even sure he from like the Lou, like, cause we kind of like, you know what I'm saying, got a taste for like, but we got the sound now, so it's kind of like something like it was refreshing to finally hear something new.
That kind of, not to cut you off, but like that's kind of like on purpose by me. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the crib went through a pocket where it wasn't that everybody was sounding the same, but everybody was sounding the same. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I knew I ain't want to be a part of that per se. Like I wanted people to, cause I feel like that's what our greats. I feel like that's what make them our greats. Like we are unique to the crib, but at the same time, it's like we gotta be able to hit on all levels. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about Baby King, yeah, he got his West Coast influence, but he can hit on all levels. You know what I'm saying? Babyface Ray can hit on all levels. Any great artist, shit. Not to name names, everybody can hit on all. Future can hit on all levels in different aspects. So, like, I wanted to come out and I don't want motherfuckers to just hear my shit off ripping. Oh, this is St. Louis nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, now on some songs I do want that. You feel me? But not on everything. Like sometimes I want motherfuckers to not even be thinking about location. I heard Jadakiss say this one time, like hip hop, the only genre where we always talking about where we from, and you know what I mean. We stamp like our region so heavy, like they don't do that in country or rock or different aspects. There's still us too, 'cause we create everything. You know what I'm saying? But like hip hop and rap specifically, I feel like we lock in on our region so heavy sometimes that it kind of be to a fault at times. So we kind of box ourselves in. I ain't want to do that. I wanted our shit to be able to play like in fucking Dubai if need be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
For sure.
and then we bring that shit back home.
We ain't trying to be local. We trying to be global.
Talk to him. You feel me?
Facts.
Trying to be global.
Big
So
facts.
what's some of the future plans for NOBE?
Global, the
Global,
world.
for
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? Like growing the brand like y'all doing with y'all with Off the Rip.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like trying to take this shit full fledged everywhere.
We got any live shows lined up yet?
Bro, talking to my people right now, getting some of that in the works. Hopefully by the end of the year, I have some shit set up. You know what I mean? So definitely growing my sound with that, moving around. Get to I'm dropping again before the year out too.
Okay.
Like I got some shit lined up. Nothing set in stone, but like I've been working a lot. I dropped Nova's demo, but by the time I dropped Nova's demo, I had already been listening to some of that music a few months. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I done got better since then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's how I be telling Style, bro. Like he be thinking it's just me. I be telling him like, bro, I already enjoy it. Like today, yesterday. I'm thinking about like next week and next month.
Yeah.
Hey, all I got to say is sometimes, well, it's good to look at the future, but I don't know. I take day by day. You feel me? People clocking out every day. I gotta make it through today first. Then worry about tomorrow. You feel me? You know what I mean? Have a plan for the future, but you know what I mean? Enjoy the present. You know what I mean? Well, I'm gonna say, I just got into a car accident last week. I could have been messed up bad. You know what I mean? Thank God for a seatbelt. You feel me? But freak, I could have been out of commission. I probably wouldn't be here if I ain't had my seatbelt on.
Man,
So
wear them seatbelts, man.
that's what I'm saying. I take day by day because anything can happen. I ain't think I was about to get in no car.
Man.
And you know what's crazy though? Like, shout out my OG, his name Turtle. But naturally, bro, I take my time with everything. You know what I mean? And it's like, about ladies, like you move slow. Like, they be waiting on me ready to go. Like I'm like, man, you gotta embrace the moment. I live day to day too, but I don't know, man. Just people, I say, have taught me like you gotta be on that. You gotta have that vision. You know what I mean? You gotta be on that hunt. Otherwise, motherfuckers will outwork you and pass you the fuck up quick.
No,
Man.
You'll get left in the dust.
Man.
for real. Slow feet don't eat.
Facts. You know what I mean? Like, cause I ain't never been pressed on like popularity and nothing like that for real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I got in school. I'm focused on ball. I'm trying to make it to the league. I ain't tripping on no internet, no social media, You know what I mean? There was a lot of people that, shit, all right, that nigga want to be ghost. Fuck him. Like, you know, out of sight, out of mind type shit.
Basically.
And after so many years of that, I'm coming around people from school. They like, nigga, where have you been? You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that.
No, I see you do be like off the radar. Even when we be DM me off the
Off the
I be
grid.
like, Earl, is he gonna hit us back? You'll be hitting us back like 2 days later. You always respond, but freak, I see you don't really mess with social media unless you got like a video or something, or like you know what I mean. You just drop. I see you be out of tune, man.
Yeah, bro. Like I don't, and it's like I still be in tune. You know what I mean? My folks will still hit me with shit like that, but bro, I do not, cause that shit, man, my mental so important to me. Like, and I ain't doing no stress shit and shit like that. And then had me like in high school, I seen early like, bro, this internet shit not gonna be for me. I ain't had a Twitter. I had a Twitter maybe 3 months, bro. I ain't making long at all. By the time I had graduated, I had been off Twitter. I'm like, bro, this shit ain't. I'm getting caught up with stupid shit. I don't know who fucking with me for real.
No, you like me, cause my bitch, I be telling Earl, I be saying I done watched too many people go through BS. Why would I let my life go through BS when I done seen it firsthand from family and friends? You know what I mean? The smartest people, I feel like, watch others make their mistakes. You know, dumb people make the same mistake that somebody else do. You feel me? Like that's a way to limit to mistakes. Like why would I freaking go do what they do and they stressing every day? You feel me? Like what's the?
And it's like, and it's people eating off that too. You know what I mean? But just like school, just like it's everything not for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I say all the time, cause like around the time I was working on Superpack, for instance, I'm down there. Bro, you gotta get on your social media. Like they worried about that. I'm like, bro, I'm not, nigga. If this Drake don't worry about no motherfucking social media. Kendrick is not on social media like that, my nigga. Like, and that's where I'm going. Like, granted, it's a tool. You gotta learn how to use everything. And in this day and age, you definitely gotta know how to manipulate and do what you need to do for your grind. But at the same time, like you said, I done seen so many people crash out just mentally, just off trying to do too much. And bro, like I done lived real life and seen and experienced some great shit. Like no phones, you know what I mean? Like no phones. So why the fuck do I feel like I gotta do that shit now? You know what I mean? Like
I definitely feel my fault. I ain't mean to cut you off. No, I definitely feel you because Earl be on my head about that too. Just content, and Esco was just saying some stuff, giving some advice, and he was just saying, because I feel like we do live in the age now. You know what I mean? You can get rich off this or whatever, or you know what I mean? Really, you can make this your money maker. But I feel like we all, you know what I mean? Cause I'm like you. I ain't trying to be like, oh, we. Freaking,
hold on. I know you're not capping right here on this camera, bro. You be the main person on the gram, bro.
We at the club or something for sure.
Bro.
But I'm saying in my daily life, you feel me? That's just, I feel like, you know, in my daily life, Earl, I don't feel like I block it Monday through Friday.
Quit the cap, cause I'm hitting you up on some, bro. Who you beefing with? Cause he be tweeting like he like at beef with the whole city. He be talking about some.
I do like Twitter.
He be talking about some. Muggs is not matching our grind. If you not grinding, stay the F away from me. I'm like, who is you talking about, bro?
But you know what? To that point, that's why I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah,
because of people like me.
No, bro. Dead ass. Like, it be times where, nigga, I be feeling like, bro, I get online and I just let it go. Nigga got me fucked up about, you know what I mean? I will air a nigga out quick. I don't care.
People be on my head, and then what you call it? I really be posting song lyrics, you know.
Bro, I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't even want to hear that, bro.
Lyrics. Like people be thinking, nah, it was bad. One day, Earl just reading tweet after tweet. I'm like, dang, my Twitter look negative as hell.
No, for real. I'm saying, what song was this? I can't even tell you right now. Yeah, it's your song. You make it up on the spot, bro. You know what I'm saying? But last question, I'm gonna let you go, bro. Like, what advice would you give to your past self, your younger self, or any like up and coming artist that's trying to make music?
Bro, trust yourself. Follow your gut. That's really like I done found. That's another reason I feel like I made a ball. It was a certain point in time when, granted, young, dumb. I might have been too hell bent on certain shit, too stubborn to certain shit, but then there was other times where I folded and agreed to some shit that I really wasn't all the way comfortable with, and then I ended up in a situation where I wasn't benefiting from it the way I could have been or should have been. And that shit taught me a real life lesson early. So from there, I vowed, bro, I'm gonna follow my gut no matter what. If I ain't feeling that shit, bro, it ain't happening. I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? Because if I ain't comfortable, and it ain't even necessarily about being comfortable, because like I was talking about earlier, it do be times where you gotta be able to grind through uncomfortable situations. But for the most part, man, follow your gut, follow your vision, especially if you got a great one. And you know what I mean, trust yourself. And then to the youth, bro, I always say to my young ones, find something you passionate about and dive into that, bro. That's it. Like, it ain't gotta be school, it ain't gotta be this, it ain't gotta be that, it ain't gotta be the streets. Whatever you passionate about, though, find that, dive into that, and make sure you know that shit better than anybody. I don't give a fuck if it's cars, fixing TVs, nigga, drywall. Be the best motherfucking drywall installer in America. You gonna be straight.
No, for real.
You know what I mean? So that's all my message is. Like, find your shit, hone your shit, grow your shit.
For sure. How could the people find you and reach out to you and listen to your music?
Just NOBE, JUSTNOBE on IG. Noble World on YouTube. Just type in my name, Noble, on any streaming platform. You gonna find my shit. That shit say World Recordings. That's me. You know what I'm saying? Stamp official. So SoundCloud, anything. You know what I mean? Tap in, get my Linktree link. Go crazy. All my shit on there. Yeah, we moving, bro. I appreciate y'all having me through here for real.
Appreciate you coming on here.
Coming, my guy.
Man,
for sure.
tap in, bro. I gotta get some merch. I gotta get all this because I fuck with y'all. I ain't just telling y'all that. Like I seen, I'm like, bro, this fire.
I appreciate that, bro. We got you off the rip.
Yes, sir.
We out.